When God told you to do something, He didn't tell you to stop. And so if He told you to do it, then you do it until you become successful at it. Yesterday, I saw a video of Bill Gates talking about the early days. He said, we didn't believe in sleep. So if you were writing some code, we would encourage you to actually see it through before you went to sleep. Like 6 days straight, 4 days straight, just power up and see it through. They had incredible work ethic. He said they didn't believe in vacations, they didn't believe in weekends. Now, to an extent, that might be unhealthy. But for the first years of the business, they worked until it started to work. They worked because they believed in the vision, right? The dream. But then suddenly everything started to work. For many years, Bill Gates was the richest man on the planet. And he still is one of the richest men on the planet. I remember a clip where Bill said if he gave away 99% of his wealth, he would still have, about $2 billion? Yeah. Us Christians, we complain, our work ethic is so bad. I mean, for people who claim to believe God and people who claim to trust God, our words sure don't match our action. So God told you to start a poultry business, and you started. And the first month you were excited, you were going at it. You told everyone, I'm starting a poultry business. God told me to do this. It's going to be great. Second month, it's not looking great. The third month, chickens start to die. In the fourth month, you're barely breaking even. By the end of the first year, you're done. You pack it up, sell off the eggs, sell off the chicken, and you say the business is done. So did God tell you? I mean, you're pretty sure at the start. You're like, yeah, God told me to do this. God probably did tell you. But did He tell you to stop? Who told you to stop? Bill Gates was losing money in the first 5 years of Microsoft. Can we please let that sink in? Because as Christians, at the sight of any small failure, we're like hysterical, like a little baby. Oh my God, God, why is this happening? Make this stop. God told you to do something. He didn't tell you to stop, but you stopped. We're like Nepo babies, and I completely understand the concept of that because oftentimes Nepo babies end up being spoiled. But that's the trap we fall into. We fall into the trap of being spoiled and living way below our potential because God is our Father. See, the people of this world will take something and they will be dogged and they will not let it go until it works. But us Christians are so quick to blame the devil. Look in the mirror and take responsibility. When God told you to do something, He told you to start, He told you to take this, He gave you this great idea. He didn't tell you to stop. So if you believe Him and you have respect and reverence for Him, why did you stop? Or did He change His mind? I mean, we as Christians know that God He doesn't repent, He doesn't change His mind. God is consistent. So He's not one way today and tomorrow He's a different way. The things that are just occurring to you are not just occurring to God. So there is no way He's changing His mind because it's like, oh, some new facts just came to light. It just came to light that you're actually not very good at business. Oh, no. It just came to light that the economy is going to change this year. Oh, no, it just came to light that, people no longer eat chicken because most people are now becoming vegetarians. So it just came to light. So I've changed my mind. You should no longer do the poultry business. No, because it just occurred to you, because you're just realizing and just starting to face the challenges, doesn't mean it's nothing that God hasn't accounted for already. So proof that you trust God is that you do what He says. And if He didn't tell you to stop, you don't stop. A very good example of this is Joseph. So when Joseph had the dream, big vision, where God said, you're going to be above your father and your mother and your siblings, what was the first thing that happened to him? He found himself in a pit, sold into slavery, presumed dead by the people who loved him the most, his little brother Benjamin and his father. Presumed dead, sold into slavery. Wow, so fun. You know, if we really know this God, if we really take his word seriously, I think that one of the first things you need to realize is that when God gives you a vision and a dream, the first thing that's going to come at you is a challenge, bro. It is a test. It is a challenge. It's going to be like, oh, God gave you this thing. I'm going to snatch it out of your hands. But we let the devil snatch it. We're like, God, the devil is snatching. Okay, fine, you can have it. And then the devil wins. Because we have no tenacity, no doggedness. We don't hold fast. We don't hold with reverence, but hold strongly to what God gave us. I'm going to go back to Joseph's story. So he found himself as a slave, and then Potiphar's wife lied against him, and then he found himself in jail. But do you know something about Joseph? It never affected him. Because as long as the water on the outside of the ship does not get inside the ship will remain above the water. Joseph was oblivious in the best way possible. He completely ignored what the things looked like around him. So he was in jail, but this guy was in high spirits. He was diligent. He was hardworking, such that the jailer said, do you know what? I'm going to put you in charge here. How do I know he didn't let his dream go? The proof that he kept the vision before his eyes is the fact that he was in high spirits all the way through. The person who cared about someone's countenance, because if anything, I mean, he might have been like, I had this dream. But God, things happened. And evil spirits and the witches and the ancestral things in my father's lineage, they stopped my dream. Oh God, avenge me, my dream. No. Your guy was constantly in high spirits because he cared enough to say, Mr. Butler, Mr. Baker, what's happening today? Even the prison guard put Joseph in charge. You don't put someone who's depressed and down and sad, you don't put them in charge. Joseph had something, and he obviously decided that until this is done, I'm not done. But us Christians, we give up so easily. God is not done. He didn't say you were done. And so until it starts to work, you have to keep working. Joseph endured everything with grace. He said, this dream, I'm not letting you go. If he had let go of that dream, then Joseph would have dropped to the level of the situation he was in. I mean, he was in jail. Like, what else is there? He was literally at the lowest point. He was sold into slavery and then as a slave thrown into jail. I mean, what hope is there? And the people who could have fought for him clearly thought he was dead. So the bottom line is there was really no hope. But Joseph was full of life. He was excited. He was living like the king that he knew he was going to be. He had a vision and he did not let it go. He was that guy who would say, what is wrong with you? How are you? How's everyone? Why is your face so glum? He was that guy. And it was no surprise that after 13 years, Joseph ended up exactly where God told him he would be. So the proof that you take God at his word is that you are diligent, is that you hold fast to that vision he gave you, is that you do not let it go, is that you are tenacious, that you are dogged. And it's just no surprise that Christians fail because we're literally like those Nepo babies who are spoiled because you're just so spoiled and you just expect everything to be handed to you and you have zero work ethic. So if you're going to succeed this year, you're going to have to decide. Are you going to be tenacious? Are you going to be dogged? Are you going to hold on to what God tells you and not let it go like a bulldog until you achieve exactly what He said you would achieve? Because He made you a promise and He didn't lie. So, except He told you to stop, you don't stop.